This is an Argent Data Open Tracker 2M in a metal box. It's a very popular tracker for APRS. This one I've modified to have a little switch on the front which can change the profiles. It has, many of the trackers have ability of 2 profiles. They're just transmitted. The green light will come on when it decodes. And if I were to transmit, and if the green light comes on right after transmit, that would give you an acknowledgement that your packet did get digipeated. The Open Tracker 2 is hooked via a cable that's sold by Argent Data. It plugs into this mini USB on the side, and that is the serial connection. There's a little serial converter that converts the serial to RS-232 in the back here to this black plug. That's a DB9. This is a DB9 that goes back to the radio, which is in the trunk. When you first plug the Nuvi in, a new pane will show up called dispatch. Okay, and this reveals in messages, inbox, outbox, and create message. I'll go ahead and we're going to send an APRS message. You lead it with 1 dash. So you put the call sign in, a space, and then your message. And we're going to send the message. And now the Open Tracker is trying to send a message to K6MEU-9. Okay, here we are back on the first screen, and we can view map. And what's really neat about this is it will display objects, APRS objects, via the serial cable and the Open Tracker right on the screen. So if you look, you can see that this tracker has, this is my wife's, and her call sign is right there, and it shows a little object. We'll zoom back out and we can look at other objects on the map. There's my truck, which is parked next to this vehicle, and we can zoom out. Okay, now we're zoomed out to where we can see another digi AC6ET5, and zoom out some more. We can see some other digis out on the coast. You can put your finger on and actually drag, and those are other digis here. We can look for other users, other digipeaters. There's a user in Lake County. I'll go down to Santa Rosa, and whatever this unit can receive, it'll show the objects. Okay, a normal map that you run with while you're going down the road. I'm going to test a message being sent to this vehicle, to my wife's car. Okay, she just received a message. And this will beep about every minute. So like if you're out of your vehicle, after about a minute, it'll beep. So you push that tile. There's a message from me. Testing APRS messages. So I'm going to delete it. Go back. Dispatch. Messages. Create. Lead with 1. I'm going to send it back to my home computer. OT2 and Nuvi-350, hello, done, send, and we go to the outbox, and it says sending, and it just disappeared from sending, so that means it was successfully acknowledged, so that confirms that the message was sent. So this time I'll delete that. We have nothing in the inbox, nothing in the outbox. We go back to the regular map. Okay, you're going to go do a mobile test, view map, and you can see my object directly below the wheels. And we'll go for a little spin. I'm going to transmit a little bit more than I normally would to show my own object showing up as we go, which gives you an acknowledgement that you at least made it into a digipeater. And there it is, showing up. Or actually, that was my object, the VUD. There we go. There's one that showed up. Corner pegging and smart beaconing are highly recommended if the units can do it. Most of the newer ones, like the Tiny Tracks or any of the MTs or any Argent data trackers, they're all capable of doing smart beaconing, which what it does is it will send a beacon when you turn over about more than 28 degrees. It will beacon, and which allows it to corner peg, so you can actually see where you're turned. And setting that up, then it doesn't have to beacon as much when it's going in a straight line. So you set it to only go off maybe every 90 seconds or 120 seconds, and then when you hit a corner where you turn over more than about 28 degrees, it will drop a position beacon just like that, and actually shows the turns. And let's see if we can do one more beacon. You can see the object is still on the road next to me, so I'm going to force a transmit or two, and there it is. That's the acknowledgement. You can also see other objects nearby, other trackers and digipeaters. There's a digipeater on Cow Mountain. There's another user you can just barely see. I can drag this off. There's a user. Digipeaters. There's an object. Here's another user. There's a guy out on the coast. These are all, this is a mobile, that's a mobile. There's Lake County. There's a user in Lake County. Now we're down into Santa Rosa area. The digis are the little triangle, and that's actually a little phone symbol.
How about it?
So there it is.
Here.
Okay, a friend of mine's going to send a message. Okay, go ahead, send your message. And there's a message. APRS rules, I'd agree with that. I'm just using a old commercial VHF radio that's just set on a single channel. Everything comes out of the mic connector and then transitions onto a DB9 connector and goes up front to the Nuvi-350. So this is usually hidden from view. And then on glass antenna for her voice, and another simple on glass antenna for the APRS.